Hello and welcome to 2 Minute Watches. Today I'm comparing the Black Bay 58 with the Seiko SPB143. This is a comparison I wanted to do for a long time, as when anyone looks at kind of dive watches in a slightly premium category, once you go past the kind of more entry level Seiko SKX, you're looking at, a lot of people look at the Seiko SPB143, very kind of trendy, good looking, modernized looking vintage. You've got vintage inspired details, and in fact obviously it's based on that historical design, the 62 mass, I think it's 60s, but it's got obviously more modern elements. They've kept the baton indices, but the dial has got that the font's actually really nice, but also that brushed stainless steel finishing, which kind of brings it up to a more 21st century look. On the Tudor, is again one of those where you start heading up the price ladder. It's something that most people will look at. Round indices, also stainless steel rotating bezel, with a matte dial. Again, not too flashy. So you've got two bit more understated dive watches here. The price, I think, new Tudors go for about 3,500 maybe, and the Seiko about 1,100. So you're looking at the Tudors 3 times the price. And then even on the used market, I think the Seiko goes for around £700 maybe, and then the Tudor about £2,000 ish. So again, used and new, you're looking at kind of 3x the price in terms of the Tudor versus the Seiko. So what does that get you? Well, finishing wise, it's on the case itself. Seiko has always kind of excelled in the dial side of things. So the sunburst dial looks amazing. I quite like the bezel on this as well. The brushed element of the, as you can see, the brushing on the stainless steel bezel really makes it, distinguishes it from some of the other models it has. And the Tudor has kept itself faithful to a lot of the vintage inspired ones with that kind of stainless steel bezel as well. So nothing about I don't think the case itself, inside the case, whether it's the hands or the indices or the finishing on that front, really, I think, distinguishes itself. Both have in-house movements, but obviously one's a Tudor Swiss in-house movement, one's a Seiko Japanese movement. In itself isn't a problem, but this 6R35 is known to have some issues, and it keeps time, but it kind of loses, I think my one loses about 30-40 seconds a day, so that's not ideal, and especially when it's slow. So sometimes after a few days I'm a bit late to some meetings. It's not ideal. Tudor keeps much better time, and if you look at the forums, they don't really mention some of those kind of issues there. What else have we got? We've got I think the main difference between the two watches are the bracelets. Just kind of zone in onto the Seiko here. It's better than their SKX models, but it's not. I mean, it's nowhere near a lot of the Swiss ones. If you get a Longines Hydro Conquest, definitely not the Tudor Black Bay, for example. At least it's got a milled inner clasp. This bit is good. I mean, I think a lot of the cheap models have a stamped one here. I know if you, for example, get a Citizen Pro Master, it's stamped. I think I'm saying that right. But yeah, a lot of this kind of, it moves up a category there. But the outer clasp, this is stamped, which is, it's nice Seiko detailing, but it does feel a bit flimsy. It doesn't have that heft and quality you want if you're kind of opening and closing that clasp every day to take on on and off your watch all the time. It's fine. It does a job, but obviously that's where it doesn't feel premium. It just feels adequate. I guess the bracelet feels maybe premium economy, I guess, if that is a way to put it. But it doesn't feel kind of luxury. No signed crown. I think that is historically accurate, but I think I just want the kind of the Seiko logo on it. Maybe that's just me. So I think, I mean, some people don't say this is a quote unquote strap monster. I want to kind of switch it out and things like that. So I guess if you can't really get a third party bracelet per se, because of the dye shield coating makes it a bit darker. Kind of I don't know if you can see it. It's just a bit more like silvery, like a dark silvery grey, compared to the other model. So Third market bracelet, not really the way forward. Probably just more of a nice leather strap. But the finishing on the case side is good. It's really just a bracelet that lets it down. But the die shield coating actually is pretty good in terms of holding on to scratches. I've had this since 2021, so it's 4 years old, and there's obviously going to be some scratches on the bottom where that hits the desk, and then it's not too bad. So, you know, durability wise, pretty decent. It probably just doesn't have the premium feel to it. Going over to the Tudor, the clasp, again milled, nice signed Tudor logo there. Milled outer clasp, and then milled outer clasp again here, which is kind of crucial. You see that ceramic ball bearing makes it very satisfying to click. You could just like fiddle and fidget around with it in a way that you don't really want to play. It's just not as satisfying. It's a much more satisfying click with the ceramic ball bearing. The bracelet itself, some people have said they couldn't get a good fit right off the bat, but there's various ways around this. There's a Uncle Seiko half link, which is, I can't remember how much it is, maybe 30, 40 pounds. And there's a steel reef link, which is a full size link, but it's adjusts, I think, 0.5 millimeter. So that's a bit more expensive. I think it's 120 pounds, but it also does the job. But the feel, the polishing feels a lot more premium. The heft, the weight feels much more premium. You can kind of tell basically. It just feels less hollow. Is one way. It just feels more dense. I'm not sure that if in technically it's more dense, but it feels more dense than, for example, the links on the Seiko. So there you have it. It's 3 times more the price, but is it 3 times better? Not if you don't really care about the bracelet that much, but the bracelet is a bit of a big part of the feel of a watch. So yeah, I don't think anyone can really tell you. They're both good value for what they are. It's probably saying it depends on what you're looking for a watch. So anyway, hope that helps. Thanks for watching.